Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. So today we'll be talking about two solutions in quadratic simultaneous equation. So basically we're looking at quadratic simultaneous equation that has two solutions. So in the previous video, we talked about quadratic simultaneous equation that has no solutions and those that have one solution. So now we're going to talk about those that have two solutions. Now, as usual, please make sure you review previous video before coming. Remember, this is a part 4, and in this series, okay, there's a lot of videos before now. Make sure you've reviewed them. Make sure you've understood them, because as we're going, we're building up on what we've learned already. All right. And also, if you've not subscribed, it's a very good time for you to do so. Click on notification bell as well, so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first person to know. All right. So here, these equations will have two solutions as the curves or the lines or the curves intersect. So that means because they intersect at 2 points, so that means those 2 points, those 2 coordinates will be the solutions for both of them at the same time. So you can get this by either you want to draw a sketch, both graphs. So you can also do that also by checking as well by finding the discriminant of the resultant quadratic equations, okay? And also in the overview as well, when I talked about the elimination by substitution method, okay, I gave you 5 steps in solving those kind of questions. And also I told you that in the step 3 is the determining step where you have to then check the discriminant. All right. But okay, because it's a new video, I'm going to still write the 5 steps again. So if you're watching, you can skip it and go straight to the example. And also, when we start solving example as well, what you can do is that you can pause the video, you can solve it yourself and see if you get the same answer I got. All right. Okay, so I'm going to write the 5 steps of solving using the elimination by substitution method. So the first thing that you have to do is that you have to then select any of the equation. Okay, you select any of the equation and make one variable subject of the formula. Okay, then when you're done, the next thing is that you have to then substitute the answer from step 1 for the second variable into the second equation. Then you then have to what? Substitute the answer from step 1 for the second variable. Okay, for the second variable into the second equation. Then when you're done with that, the next step is that they have to find a variable from the step 2, or find the value of the variable from step 2. So you have to then find the value of the variable from step 2. Okay? Then when you've done that, the first thing now, usually in this step, you have to first check the discriminant, all right? So you have to then check the discriminant. So when we're referring to the discriminant, we're referring to the b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so we're going to check the b squared minus 4ac of the resultant. So that means the quadratic equation that has been resulted from this process, all right? Of the resultant quadratic what? Equation. So if any, all right? So in some cases you might get, in some cases you won't get, but because we're talking about quadratic simultaneous equation, definitely there's a very high chance that you'll get 1. So when you check the discriminant and you see that the b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, we've done that in the previous video, it means that there is what? No solution. Okay, So that means the lines does not intersect, or the lines do not intersect. All right, we talked about this in the previous video. Also, if you have b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, it means that there's one solution. So that was just the video we just finished, okay? So they meet at one point, or they intersect at one point. All right. Also, what we're going to talk about now is that you will notice that the b squared for this video minus 4ac is greater than 0. So now you have what? Two solutions. And because you have two solutions, so that means they intersect at 2 points. Okay? So they intersect at 2 points. So when you're done, you found that, the next thing that you have to do then is you have to go to step 4, where you then substitute the answers from step 3 into any of the original equations to find the second variable. So you have to then substitute the answers from step 3, okay, into any of the original what? Equations, okay? You substitute that into any of the original equations. So to find the second variable. So you do that so that you can find the second what? Variable. Then when you're done, then you have step 5. Okay, then you then check your answer. So as I told you, you can check your answer by either drawing the graph or plotting it. And like I said, when you sketch is not going to be exact, but to give you a rough idea. Now, but when you want to plot it, then plotting is going to give you exact value, okay? So you can either sketch the graph, or you can check your answer by sketching the graph. So the first thing you can do is that you can either sketch or plot the graph, or sketch. So it depends what you want to do. You can sketch the graph for both of them, okay? So I've discussed how to sketch graph, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and how to do each of them. Or what you can do then is that you can then substitute, all right, both values into either of the original equation. Okay, and that's how you what? You solve it. So let's pick an example now, all right? So I'm gonna pick an example so that we can talk about this. So let's pick an example here that we have and see what we can do with that. So for example, we have the set solve the equation. Okay, we're meant to solve y is equal to x squared plus 3, and we have y is equal to 7x minus 7, okay? So step 1, like we said, you have to then select one of the equation and make one variable the subject of the formula. So like I always say in my videos, I'm always tilted to making y the subject. So, and the second one, I've already solved that for me. Step 2, we need to now then have to substitute the answer from step 1 for the second variable in the second equation. So the second equation we had was y is equal to x squared plus 3. So we're going to, anywhere we see y, we're going to put the 7x minus 2 in there. So it's going to give us x squared plus 3 is equal to, 7x minus 2. So we're going to have, so anywhere we see y, we're going to put 7x minus 7 there. So it's going to be 7x minus 7 is equal to x squared plus 3. So what I'm going to do, step 3, I'm going to take all the numbers, all the variables to one side of the equation. So I'll take 7x to that side. So we're going to have x squared minus 7x. I'll take minus 7 to the other side. It's going to give me plus 7 plus 3. Okay? So that will give me x squared minus 7x plus 10. Okay? So this is the resultant. So if you see, look at the steps. I said that you have to first check the resultant quadratic and to see if you have the discriminant is greater than 0 or is less than 0 or equal to 0. So let us check it now. All right. So we'll do that now. I'll pick one. So let's check. So checking that. So we're checking the x squared minus 7x plus 10. Okay, so that means A is equal to 1, B is equal to minus 7, and C is equal to 10. All right, and we have it as B squared minus 4AC. So the B is going to be minus 7 all squared minus 4 times 1 times 10. Okay, so this is going to give us 49. So this is 49 minus 40, and this is going to give us 9. And you can see 9 is greater than 0, right? So because 9 is greater than 0, what does that mean? It's going to give us two solutions, and they'll intersect at 2 points. So we're going to look at it now. So that means, therefore, we are going to have two solutions, all right? And if you draw the graph for this, they're going to intersect at 2 points. Is that okay? We're going to be expecting intersection at 2 points. So now we can continue the question. We have x squared minus 7x plus 10. So what you can do is that we can either use the formula method, the completing the square method, or we can use factorization. But I'm going to prefer to use factorization here, especially for trinomials when a is equal to 1. All right? So we're going to look for two numbers that you multiply that will give you 10, and you add that will give you minus 7. Is that okay? Two numbers that will give you 10, and to add that will give you minus 7. So let's go. So the two numbers will be minus 5 and minus 2. Minus 5 times minus 2 will give you 10, and minus 5 plus minus 2 will give you minus 7. So that means it's going to be x minus 5 and x minus what? 2. So that means x is equal to 5 and x is equal to what? 2. All right? Or let me put it in a better way. So basically what I'm saying is this is equal to 0. So that means it will be x minus 5 is equal to 0 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. Take minus 5 to the other side. So x will be equal to 5 and x will be equal to what? 2. All right. So now step 4. Step 4 now said that we need to substitute the answers we've gotten, the x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 2, into any of the original equations to find the second variable, okay? So let's go. So the original equation, I'm going to pick the simple one. We have y is equal to 7x minus 7. So when x is equal to 5, we're going to have y will be equal to 7, 5 minus 7, and that will give us 35. So 35 minus 7, and that will give us what? 28. So that will be equal to 28. So y will be equal to 28. So therefore, when x is equal to 5, y is what? 28. That's the first one. So we've gotten an answer here. When x, so one of the first points of intersection, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 28. Now, when x is equal to 2, the same principle, y will be equal to 7 into bracket 2 minus 7. And that will give us 14 minus 7. So y will be equal to what? 7. So we can now say when x is 2, y is 7. And then this is going to give us what? The second point of what? Intersection. All right. So as usual, we can decide to plot this. I'm going to plot this. Basically, I'm going to sketch it, not plot. So it's just give us a rough idea of the solution. So if you go for the first one, you will see that the first point we have y is equal to 7x plus 7. So we have the line we're having the line to be y is equal to 7x. Is it plus 7 or minus 7? Minus 7. Minus 7. So that means we're going to get the x-intercept. The x-intercept. So remember, for line, the two most important things to get is the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And as x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So you put 0 here. So 0 is going to be equal to 7x minus 7. You take it to the other side. 7 is going to be equal to 7x. Divide both sides by 7. So that means x is going to be equal to 1. So the x-intercept for the line is what? 1. We also have to find the y-intercept. Okay, so I've done all this before. All right, so please go to the previous video and ensure you know how to do this. So get the y-intercept. At y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So we're going to give you y is equal to 7, 0 minus 7. So therefore, y is going to be equal to minus 7. So the y-intercept is minus what? 7. So we can draw the line for that. So we're going to have something like this. So we have something like that. So the x-intercept is 1. So let's call this 1. And the y-intercept is minus 7. So this is 1, 2. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Okay. Minus 6 and minus 7. Okay. So this is the point here. So let me put the points in blue so that to be clearer. So this is 1, and let's say this is minus 7. So the line, so you can draw a straight line joining both of them, okay? So this is the line that is what? The intersection for both of them. So that means this line is the y equal to 7x minus 7, all right? So the next thing we need to do, we need to now sketch the other one. The other one, we have the line to be, y is equal to x squared plus 3. Okay, so the curve, y is equal to x squared plus 3. So we're going to sketch the curve now. So we have y is equal to x squared. Is it plus 3 or minus 3? Plus 3. So to sketch it, the first thing you need to find is the shape. Because it's greater than 0, it's going to be in a U shape. So the first thing you got to find is the shape. So if you remember, when we're sketching quadratic equation, I gave you 5 things: the shape, the size, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the vertex. So the shape, because a is greater than 0, is going to give us U. So please go back and look at the playlist and check, review the sketching of quadratic equation. We've talked about all this. Then the size is going to be wide because a, the absolute value of a is equal to 1, and therefore it's going to be wide. The next one as well is that we talk about the x-intercepts. So the x-intercepts. So if you check the x-intercept for this, x-intercept y is equal to 0. So we're going to have x squared plus 3 is equal to 0. Take this to the other side. X squared will be equal to minus 3, and x will be equal to the square root of minus 3. And if you put this, it's a mathematical error, so that means there's no real solution. So because there's no real solution for this, so it's going to be above the x-axis. It will not intersect. So it will be above the x-axis. So the x-intercept, so I can just write 0. Okay, so that means it will be above. So basically, there's no intersection. So not like 0. I don't put it as 0. 0 is not going to be really correct. So I'll just say no intersection. Okay, or I'll put above the x-axis. So because there's no intersection, so it's going to be above x-axis. So it could be above or below x-axis. So let me just make it as let me say do not touch the x-axis. Yep, that'll be a better way. Do not touch x-axis. So let's put it this way. So it could be above or below. Then we'll have to find the y-intercept. So the y-intercept as well, at y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So it's going to give us y is equal to 0 squared plus 3. And that will give us what? 3. So the y-intercept is 3. And when you also do the vertex, I've done the vertex for you, either using the formula method or completing the square method. You also see that the vertex for this is going to be 0, 3, all right? So then you're going to draw the axis. So we're going to start that. So we're going to draw the other one. So 0, 3. So that means it's going to have only the vertex here. So let's say this is -1, -2, so let's say this is the point here. Okay. And you can see the point of intersection is we have it as 5, 28, and 2 and 7. So what happens is that when you now draw the curve for this, okay, you will notice something is that it's going to look something like this. Oh, let me draw this more better, clearly. So this one like this. So this one, so to intersect, it will be more like this. The pen. So you draw this one like this. So it's going to meet at point. Yep. So you're going to meet at this point here. So you have something like this. Okay. So if you sketch it, it's going to look like something like this. So remember, it has to be a smooth curve. So I'm trying to make it smooth so it will look good. So it has to be a smooth curve. So let's do that. Yep, so that will be that. So I'm trying to do a smooth curve. So it's going to be +3. It's going to be wide. So we have something like this above the x-axis, like that. Okay, so then we can now draw the other one. So the blue one is going to tell us that it's going to meet the point at 2 intersecting points. So it's going to go like this. It's going to go straight up. So it's going to meet like this, straight up, and like, if you keep going up, let me draw this down a bit, then you'll see that it's going to go up, and it will meet also at this point here, all right? So like I said, it's because I'm sketching it, okay? So when you plot it, you'll get the exact point. But if you're sketching it, it's going to be somewhere like this. So the first point of intersection here, you're going to have, this is the first point, point A, and the second one here is going to be what? Point B. So from here, you can see it's positive. So that means the point A is more likely to be this one. So the point A is more likely to be the 5, and get this out of the way so I can see the screen. So it's more likely to be the 2 and 7. So you can see this is like 2 and 7. So point A is the 2 and 7. Then also for the point B, if you have a look at it again, so point B, we're having about 5 and 28. So you can see it's about 5, all right? Then somewhere up here, 28. So point B is now 5 and what? 28. And that is the sketch. So remember I said we're just sketching. Sketching is just to give you a rough idea. Now, but if the question now asks you to sketch, there's no need to do so. So the reason I'm just sketching this is that just for you to appreciate what we're doing. Is that all right? So that's why we are sketching. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick one more example and quickly go through this one as usual. So to just make sure that we are all on the same page. So we're having solved the equation, okay? And we're having x squared minus 4y squared is equal to 9, and we have 3x plus 4y is equal to 7, okay? So step 1, okay, we need to make one of the variables the subject of the formula. So like I said, I always pick the simple one, and I'm biased towards y. So that will give me 3x plus 4y is equal to 7, okay? And I'll take 3x to the other side, so it's going to give me 4y is equal to 3x. Let me clean that. Give me minus 3x, okay, plus 7. I'll now divide both sides by 4. Okay, And that'll give me y is equal to minus 3x over 4 plus 7 over 4, okay? So for clarity, I'm going to just write it like this, minus 3x plus 7 all over what? 4. Now, step 2, okay? Remember, step 2, we're told that you have to then substitute the answer from step 1 for the second variable in the second equation. So the second variable we have here, we have it as what? X squared minus 4y squared is equal to 9. So it's going to give us x squared minus 4 into bracket. The y is minus 3x plus 7 divided by 4 all squared is equal to 9. So like I told you earlier, the rule, when you have a over b all squared is equal to a squared over what? B squared. So I can write this again as x, change the pen color back. We'll give you x squared minus 4 into bracket minus 3x plus 7 squared divided by 4 squared is equal to 9. So this 4, we cancel one of the 4. So you're going to have x squared minus 3x plus 7 all squared divided by 4 is equal to 9. So I'm going to simplify the one now. The one we have here, the minus 3x plus 7 squared. Now, this is the same thing as saying minus 3x plus 7 minus 3x plus 7, okay? So let's open the bracket. So that will give us minus 3x times minus 3x will give us what? 9x squared. Minus 3x plus 7 will give us minus 21x. 7 times minus 3x minus 21x plus 7 times 7 is what? 49. So that will give us 9x squared. Minus 21 minus 21 will give us minus 42x plus 49. Okay, so that means I can easily replace all this now to be x squared minus 9x squared minus 42x plus what? 49. All this is divided by 4 is equal to 9. Okay, so let's delete this one so that we can write on the other side. So we're gonna have this one. So we have step 1, so we're still in step 2, we're still simplifying. So remember I told you the concept that when you have a negative sign, you can open the bracket. So it's gonna give us x squared, okay, minus 9x squared plus 42x, then minus 49. All these are over what? Divided by 4 is equal to 9. Also in algebra, I told you a plus b over c is equal to a over c plus b over c. So that will give you x squared minus 9x squared over 4 plus 42x over 4 minus 49 over 4 is equal to 9. I'll take 9 to the other side. So it's going to give me x squared minus 9 over 4x squared plus 42x over 4 minus 49 over 4 minus 9 is equal to 0. X squared minus 9 over 4x squared will give you minus 5 over 4x squared. 42x divided by 4, okay, will give you, or can just leave it like that, so that because I'm going to multiply very soon by 4, minus 49 over 4 minus 49, it will give you 85 over what? 4 is equal to 0. So now to remove the 4, I'm going to multiply both sides by what? 4. I'm going to multiply each of this by what? 4. So that it will become minus 5x squared plus 42x minus 85 is equal to what? 0. Okay, So we can use different, so we've gotten the resultant equation now. Okay, so we've gotten the resultant quadratic equation. So the first thing to then do is to check. All right, so remember in step 3, you then have to check the discriminant, whether the b squared minus 4ac is going to be equal to 0, less than 0, or greater than 0. Okay, so let us check. So I'm going to write it in the next page. We're going to have minus 5x squared plus, I think, 42x minus 85 minus 85. The a is equal to minus 5, the b is equal to 42, and the c is equal to minus 85. Is that okay? All right, so it's got the formula is b squared minus 4ac, and the b is what? 42 squared minus 4 times minus 5 times minus 85. And this will give you around, so if you solve this, the answer, because this is negative, negative, it's going to be positive. So you can press your calculator and you will see that the answer you're going to get is going to be around, I think, 64. Yes, if you reduce it, it's going to give 64. And the value of 64 is greater than 0. So because you're getting 64, it means that the answer you are going to have is positive. And for it to be positive, it means that you're going to get 2 solutions. All right, so because we're going to get 2 solutions, then we're going to go back and solve it now. Because here, what we did here, we checked. Okay, so now we're going to go back and finish up the question. So we're going to have minus 5x squared plus 42x minus 85. So to solve this, you can use 2 methods. You can either want to use the factorization method, completing the square method, or you can use the formula method. And I've been using the factorization for a long time, and also the trinomials when a is equal to 1 or not equal to 1. But this time I'm going to try and use the formula method. Okay, so any of the methods should give you the same answer. So remember the formula method, which is minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by what? 2a. Okay, so our b, as you can see, is minus into bracket 42 plus or minus square root of 42 all squared minus 4 times the a is minus 5 multiplied by the b, the c is what? Minus what? 85 all divided by what? 2 times minus 5. Okay? Or if you're not really comfortable with the minus, what you can do is that because this is equal to 0, right? You can move all this to the other side. You see, get the same thing. So it could become 5x squared minus 42x plus 85 is equal to 0. Okay? Then in this case, the a is going to be 5, not minus 5. The b is going to be minus 42, and the c is going to be 85. And when you put it in the formula as well, minus b, so the b is going to be minus 42, okay? Plus or minus square root of b squared will be minus 42 squared minus 4 times 4a times 5 times 85, okay, divided by 2 times 5. So you can see, regardless which one you want, you're going to get the same thing. Is that so you're going to get the same thing. So what we can do now, so when you solve this, I've shown you how to do this in the previous video, so I'm not going to waste so much time on this. So when you solve this, you're going to get 2 answers. You're going to get x to be 17 over 5 or what? 5. Okay, so just press your calculator. You will see you get exactly the same thing. So now when we're done, step 4 is that you then have to then put in all these answers back. Okay, please, for those that are solving, remember that you're going to solve this a plus or minus. You're going to solve with a plus, then you're going to solve with a minus. So when you do that, you get two different answers, okay? Then we're going to go back to substitute this x value. So we got our x to be 17 over 5, and also got our x to be what? 5. So if you see step 4 said you need to then substitute the answer from step 3 into any of the original equation for the second variable. So what you then have to do is that you then have to substitute this. What do we have? The variable that is easier for us. We have any of them, 5x squared, okay? But the variable that you have to look, the initial variable we had here, which was y, is equal to minus 3x plus 7 divided by 4. So you're going to give us y is equal to minus 3x plus 7 divided by 4. So what do? You substitute 17 over 5, so minus 3, 17 over 5 plus 7 divided by 4. And when you press your calculator for that, it will give you 4 over 5. So that means the first point, x is 17 over 5, and b is what? 4 over 5. The same thing, you substitute for this as well. So we have y is equal to minus 3x plus 7 divided by 4. And that will give us minus 3 into bracket 5 plus 7 divided by 4. And this will give us what? When you press your calculator for this, it's going to give us minus 2. So that is going to give you 5 and minus 2. Okay, so those are the 2 points of intersection. So you can follow the rules and try and sketch. Like I said, step 5, the sketching, unless you are being told, it's not necessary, unless you want to just check. Or you can substitute the x values and see if you get the corresponding y values for that. All right, that is that for that. That'll bring us to the end of the solutions, okay? The next video we're going to talk about inequalities and see how inequalities play out here, all right? So please, if you have any question, feel free to send me a message and I will try as much as I explain everything to you, all right? So don't forget to subscribe and like so that if you have any question, I'm going to try and answer you or respond to you as soon as I can, all right? Thank you very much. And don't forget to press the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So when I upload the next video on inequalities, you'll be the first person to know. Thank you very much and have a nice day.